Welcome to Respectfully the podcast, where we uplift people, we encourage, and we're all about substance and giving others respect. Today we have a lovely lady on the podcast, goes by the name of Faith Beverly Sapp, has 20 plus years as a master cosmetologist. She's an author, she's a coach, owner of Toward the Light Candle Company, and host of Pour Into You Candle Making Experience. Faith Beverly Sapp, she's from Omaha, Nebraska, currently living in Atlanta, Georgia. Faith, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm doing wonderful, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Glad to hear it. So, Faith, your glow up has been phenomenal. It's been crazy. Every time I see you, I got to give you your flowers. I'm proud of you. How's things going for you? You know, you just became a recent mother. How's that working for you?
I love motherhood. Motherhood is probably the best thing I could have ever done. Like, where was I at all these years?
Yeah.
But I waited till I was 41 to have a baby, and she's absolutely changed my life. Yeah, I just love being mom. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And
she's
so
so.
you are an author. I know you got
Mm-hmm.
two books out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Two
Talk,
books.
and this last book you titled it "From the Behind the Chair to a Millionaire." Explain
Behind the Chair to Millionaire.
explain that.
Well, behind the chair to millionaire, that's like, it's still my baby. So when I wrote this book, it really was to help other beauty professionals. Okay, let me rewind it back a little bit.
Okay.
I've been studying digital marketing for quite some time, maybe about 3 to 4 years now,
Hmm.
because eventually I'm looking to transition from behind the chair and and pivot into something a little bit more passive. So I said, okay, what could that be? And so I started studying digital marketing. And of course, I had already wrote my first book, Excuse Me as I Cleanse My Dirty Mind, which is a
Hmm.
digital product. So what I realized in my studies is that, as long as you can produce digital products online, you can set yourself up for passive income. So when I wrote Behind the Chair to Millionaire, the whole concept was like a future concept for me. It's like my retirement, but
Mm.
it's futuristic because I have not yet made $1 million.
Okay.
Well, actually, I have. I
You
just
made
haven't managed my money right, because over the past 25 years, I've made a good million and something dollars,
it.
but where is it? You
Right.
know? And so, behind the chair to millionaire is just a concept for when I do step behind the chair, I'll definitely be millionaire status by the time I do that.
Wow, I love it. That's what's up. Manifested. Speaking into existence.
That's right.
Speaking
That's
into
right.
existence. Okay,
Hmm.
good. And Faith, you being from Omaha, and you I've seen you a lot of success. You're married. You know, you just had a daughter. You've been doing hair. You're an
Hmm.
author. You're
Yeah.
pouring back. What would you tell a young girl in Omaha, 17 years old, that's probably not on the upward, trajectory, kind of lost and trying to find themselves, and they
Hmm.
need some guidance from someone like yourself? What would you tell that young lady?
Yeah, I would say find a mentor, one, because I know for me in Omaha, when I was growing up, there weren't really a lot of people that I could look up to.
Mm.
That, not that there weren't anybody doing anything, but in my atmosphere at the time, there wasn't a lot of people that I could actually mimic, So I would say, for me, just knowing that environment, I would say find a mentor. I would say whatever it is in your heart that you want to do, stick to that. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to college, even though I believe that education is very important.
Hmm.
But there are so many ways that you can, uh, cater to your craft without setting yourself up for debt in the long run. So there's Chat GPT, there's Google, there's YouTube University. There's so much information out there now for you to figure out what it is that you want to study and become. So I would say do that. I would say find someone that you look up to, someone that is in the same field of the area that you want to be in, and kind of mimic them. Don't copy, but kind of mimic what they're doing. And sometimes you could reach out to them in their DMs, because a lot of people are willing to help.
Right, right. That was good feedback. Good feedback. So, Faith, two words. Tell me which one fits you best and why. Strategy or consistency?
Oh my God. I love both of those words, by the way. But consistency first, because with strategy, you're not going to always have it all figured out, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So you could put your strategy is going to change over and over and over again until you really hone in on your brand. And
Mm.
so, as long as you're consistent, though, if you're consistent with showing up, if you're consistent with pouring into people, if you're consistent with your business, with the customer service, or whatever it is that you do, eventually it, that thing's gonna pop.
That part.
So you definitely have to have strategy, but consistency in your work ethic is going to get you there. And once you get to the point to where you're like, okay, I know I have to really strategize
Right.
on the growth of this of whatever it is that you're doing, then they both like work neck and neck.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Lay one brick at a time. I always tell
Yes.
people, I got some of my coworkers asking me about gym tips, and I say, look, as long as you're going to the gym once a week and you keep it up,
Yes. Yes.
that's those are results, and eventually you'll get to that 2 week, three, and so forth. So just being
Mm-hmm.
consistency has gotten me
At
far
your
in life.
own
So
pace.
I love it.
The race is it's not a race, it's a
Right.
marathon.
And speaking of gym, I watch you on Instagram. I notice you become a gym rat. I see you on the treadmill going like 60 miles per hour. I'm like, where is she going? So how did you become a gym rat, and how does that feel? And what made you incorporate that into your lifestyle?
Well, I never really been like super overweight, and I was always like athletic growing up.
Hmm.
But when I started, I would say about 2012, I started to really kind of take it serious, hired a trainer and everything. And it took about a year, and I was consistent for a year. But when I saw the transition in my body, it changed my whole confidence level. It made me feel
Mm.
good about myself. It made me operate better. Like I was just a better human being.
Yeah.
So I just kept it up. For me, I believe that working out is a lifestyle. It's something that I
Yeah.
will always do.
Definitely.
And it's something that I, encourage everybody to do. So as long as you're moving your body, I just feel like you're winning.
Yeah, I agree. And ladies and gentlemen, viewers, I've known this young lady since she was about 14, 15. We both from Omaha, and I saw her come from a certain lifestyle. We both,
Mhm.
she's we from the
The
streets,
glow up is
and the
real.
glow up is phenomenal. She's married, she has a
Yeah.
daughter,
For
she's
you
very
too.
successful in ATL. So again, kudos to you, Faith, and keep up the good work. You're doing your thing.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank
Yeah,
you so
so
much. I
I noticed you
appreciate that.
said something about branding and you've been studying digital marketing. And so, because we're in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta and we see more,
Mm-hmm.
we're exposed to more here, speak to how
Mm-hmm.
important is branding yourself. I don't think some people catch that or really understand, branding. You're very professional now. So, how important is that when you're branding yourself and trying to, enhance your brand?
It's very important, and quite frankly, I actually just like figured I feel like I've been doing it wrong this whole time, and it just clicked to me that your brand is everything. It's
Mm.
who is you. It's
Yeah.
how people see you. And it's just the thing that stands out when you have a business. Like
Yeah.
how you brand yourself is, it sets a tone for how you operate. And so I think branding is very, very, very much important. And like right now, I'm actually working with a developer who, and that's why I say I'm just now getting this together, who has actually completed my whole brand package. And I never
Mm.
looked at a brand like this until now. I mean, from the logo, from the colors that you're, from the fonts that you're using,
Yeah.
all the way down to the T. And it's like, now over the years, I feel like I've done this and I've done that and I've done this and so many different things. But, with me doing all those things in the past, nobody really knows what it is that I do. I mean, they know I do hair, they know I do this, but it's not honing. So now under the Faith Beverly Collective umbrella,
Hmm.
everything looks cohesive, everything is
Hmm.
flowing together. So it's very important to get your brand together, and you can simply get somebody to help you with that on Fiverr.
Wow, wow. Thanks for dropping those gems. You mentioned about, pouring into women before and uplifting women. Why are you passionate about uplifting women? Is that some from your childhood, some from Omaha? Where does that stem from?
It does. I think it does kind of stem from my childhood because growing up, I don't really feel like I had anyone really pouring into me. So a lot of the things that I have acquired over life, I had to just, I was self-taught, and so, and then today, I just understand the importance of collaborating.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, we're better together. And the one thing I realized is that we all as women are struggling with some of the same things. Oh my God, you'll be surprised. And what I've also noticed is that a lot of women, it's hard for them to open up and be transparent and vulnerable around other women because
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a competition kind of feel. But I create the environment where women can come together, feel safe, and actually start to speak about some things that they may be struggling with or doing. And then what we're realizing is that, we're all kind of going through the same things, which helps to know that somebody else is going through,
Right.
some of the same things that you're going
Right. So speaking of that, what type of things did you have to adjust? You're a wife now, you're a whole missus. What adjustments did you have to identify first and then make to become a wife?
through. Oh my God. So I realized that I was doing too much projecting. And I just remember one day it hit me like, okay, if you keep getting into these different relationships that aren't working out right, you can't keep saying, oh, these men ain't, I had to get to a point to where I said, okay, it's me. What's going on with me? What do I
Mm,
need to adjust within myself to
mm,
make me become a better person? So I stopped going outward and blaming and pointing the
mm.
finger. And I just went into the core. I just started working on me. And the more I did that, the more I started attracting.
Wow, I love it. Self work. I was just talking about that. Me being a married man, I was speaking to how my wife's a good woman, a woman of God. She's beautiful, but everybody has their issues. So
Love
be-
her.
because she's good at the core, when we have those, when we get into it, I have to bring it back to me and say, okay, Isaac, how could you have responded differently? What did you do wrong? And so that self
Mm-hmm.
work is key, and as I continue to grow, I'm learning that. So I think what you're saying is the becoming. And me, I feel like I have a gift for a lot of the men, especially back home, right? Because they know my journey, they know where we're from.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to
Yeah.
become something
Mm-hmm.
that we were never taught. You have to become it. And with that, you got to be intentional and seek out.
That's right.
A lot of us have that pride, male and female. And we don't bring it back to ourselves to do that self work.
Mm.
Faith, what does respect
Thank you. It's
mean to
very
you?
important.
Can you respect someone that you dislike?
Yeah, I absolutely can respect someone that I dislike. I believe that respect is treating people how you want to be treated. But the bigger person in me, can respect someone that I don't like. I don't have to deal with you, but I can
Right,
respect you.
right, right. Good answer. How where can the people follow you at? What's your social media handles, Faye?
Okay, so my main page is Faith Beverly Collective. I just changed my handle, so you can find me on Faith Beverly Collective. There's also Beauty by Faith Beverly Salon, where you can check out my hairstyles. There's Toward the Light Candle Company, where you can check out my candles. And please, please, please follow and subscribe on YouTube because that's where I'm actually transitioning to as I'm rebranding myself.
Faith,
And
stop
LinkedIn,
again. Thank you for
Faith Beverly Sapp.
again. Thanks for stopping by, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is a phenomenal woman. I've known her since a youth, and where she's at now. I encourage some of you women to go follow her, watch her journey, and reach out. If she could be your mentor, she could be your coach, possibly. So again, respectfully, the podcast, Faith Beverly Sapp. Thanks for joining on. See you soon. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, Faith.
Okay,
All
bye.
right, bye bye.
Thank you.